the tunes are on, the rhythm is rallying. It's the show right here on Shaw TV. My name is Matt Carter. Welcome to episode number 128, season 6, episode 12. Our musical guests in behind me right now, Sky Valley. Patrick, Frank, Randall, and Alan come to us all the way from Salt Spring Island. We're going to hear some more of the great tunes and talk about all that jazz later on this hour. Also coming up on the show, now you're probably painfully aware that I'm not actually a stay-at-home mother. However, if you are, or you know someone who is, we're going to show you some exercises geared toward stay-at-home moms exercising with their infants. Not to be confused with the number one exercise for your stay-at-home dad, which is basically the multiple rep beer can lift. I'm a pro, I should be a dad soon. All right, we're also going to introduce you to a Nanaimo seniors organization that is almost a senior in itself. They're about to celebrate 50 years in operation. So what will the Nanaimo Harbour City Senior Society do for the big 5-0? We'll find out later on in the show. Now, I'm a huge fan of Montreal. We have the culture, the music scene, the haves, of course, but also the life-changing experience of Montreal smoked meat. And we'll be getting brisk with brisket right here in the studio. We will, I guess you could say, we're going to make our meat, not to be confused with meeting our maker. But you know, if you ever have felt like you are actually a ghost of your former self, well, you'll be interested in meeting the author of Past Lives and the Paranormal. The author we hear talking about her book and her experience writing it, drawing on years as a psychic and a hypnotherapist. But first, we're going to go back on a trip into the history of jazz in Nanaimo and how it's coming all the way back around to quite a substantial milestone. By the way, a musician with great time and great rhythm, that's someone who knows how to conduct themselves at a gig. Someone that knows how to conduct themselves. Oh, I got a little bit of applause there. Anyways, I got rhythm, I got music, I got the show. Who could ask for anything more? It's the show right here on Shaw TV.
Got it on the show. I'm Carrie McDowell. I'm very excited to have a very special guest with me here today. He is the recipient of the Music Fest Canada Hall of Fame membership. He is BC and Canada's Marshall McLuhan Distinguished Teacher Award winner. I'm talking about Brian Stovall. Now, Brian Stovall has taught here in Nanaimo music for over 50 years. And he's one of our really great community members. He is the NMA Big Band director, and we're going to be hearing all about the NMA Big Band upcoming 50th anniversary concert bash, March 12th, and much, much more. Brian Stovall, welcome.
Thank you very much.
So Brian, I'm really excited to hear a bit about the history of the NMA Big Band because it goes all the way back to 1967, even a little earlier.
Well,
Tell me
if
about
I
it.
may go back to the roots of the instrumental music, is 1873 when the coal miners came from England and formed bands, and they formed the Nanaimo Concert Band. And then in the 30s, swing became quite the prevalent music at that time, and there's a famous ballroom, the Pygmy Ballroom, in downtown Nanaimo, and it attracted musicians on the circuit, and that was the kind of beginning of big band jazz in this town. And then when the Pygmy closed, rock and roll took over, and Al Campbell took some of the musicians from the Pygmy Orchestra and formed a dance band, and they played up at the Legion on Wallace Street for a long time. And then in 1967, I came back from UBC full of it, and I asked Al Campbell if we could put a band together with his guys and add some students and make big band jazz.
And is that how it all started?
That's how it started, yeah.
Wow. Well, I want to show some photos of some history here from Nanaimo. Now, this first photo that we're showing is pretty special. Tell me about it.
Well, that's Louis Armstrong Big Band,
Yeah.
and that's at the Pygmy Ballroom. And of course, the Pygmy was so famed that it became part of the circuit of these traveling bands like Harry James and the Dorsey Brothers and various bands like that. And so that sort of got the whole big band jazz thing happening here. It just became part of the ethos of this community.
It's part of our community for certain. Now, the second photo is Al Campbell's band with you on bass.
Well, yes, that was the skinny kid there is me. And that's when I first started playing. Al gave me a chance to play in that band. And when I came back from studies at UBC, that's the band I wanted to incorporate into a big band.
Mm-hmm.
So that was more, that was a dance band.
Right, and now the third photo is of the 1985 NMA Big Band with the Jensen sisters.
Yeah, well, that one sort of encapsulates all that this band has been doing for all these years. It has all the high school band directors playing in it. It has 2 Malaspina College professors in it. It's got the 2 future stars, both Jensens, and it's got a future band director, high school band director in there, and the rest are community musicians who just love to play.
Okay, and let's show the current photo of the band. That is the current band.
And it has the same mix of people. Some of the
amazing.
best young stars there that you see playing at the vault
Now,
and place.
speaking of these stars, you've taught Ingrid and Christine Jensen, Diana Krall, Phil Dwyer. Some of Canada's biggest jazz stars have come through the NMA Big Band. What was it like teaching such great stars?
Well, they were actually just people like anyone else. They didn't show any attitude, because we certainly watched them. They were a little bit cowed playing with the older musicians. Mm-hmm. And I should say up front that I taught them in grade 11 and 12 at NDSS, but they'd already been in school band since grade 6, so they had great teachers like Norm Porter and Steve Jones and like that.
Well, let's talk about your upcoming 50th anniversary concert bash happening at 1630 East Wellington Road at the 256 Legion Hall. Really excited. Tell me, what's on the set list?
Oh, it's tunes like some of the old swing favorites, and we've got some contemporary sounding things. We got a Cuban beat song and
Count Basie,
Gershwin, yeah. And I should mention our wonderful singer, Sydney Needham, and she just really does the Ella Fitzgerald and Julie London pieces so well.
Fantastic.
So we're happy
now
to
you're
have
on Facebook, so if people want to find out or get in touch, they can go to NMA Big Band on Facebook, right?
Yes, they can.
Yeah, and we're going to show a really great video of the band doing Hard Hearted Hannah from 1924, which I'm excited to show next. And I just want to thank you so much, Brian, for coming on the show today. It's an honor to speak with someone with your experience, and you've been such an amazing person in our community in music for so many years, and we'll have to do this again.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Well, thanks so much, Brian. So we're now going to show an amazing, amazing video from the NMA Big Band from 1924 with Hard Hearted Hannah, only on the show.
They call her hard-hearted Hannah, the vamp of Savannah, the meanest gal in town. Leather is tough, but Hannah's heart is tougher. She's a girl who likes to see men suffer. She's on Willem to torture and kill 'em. Is her delight, they say. I saw her on the seashore with a great big pan. There was Hannah pouring water on a drowning man. She's hard-hearted Hannah, the vamp of Savannah, yeah.
Casey Scott here. The number one excuse people have for not exercising is time. They don't have enough time. Well, we're here today to prove to you that everybody can make the time if they want to. I am so excited to be here today with my daughter, Teresa Scott, who is also a personal trainer, and my 4.5-month-old adorable little grandson, Nazareth. We are going to show you how you can incorporate your baby into a workout in your own living room with absolutely no equipment. So no excuses. Thank you so much for being here, you guys.
Thank you for having us.
We're taking a big chance, but he said he was going to be a real good little movie star today. So with that being said, we're going to break right into this workout. Number one thing is baby safety, making sure that the baby's always in a good, comfortable position. We're not compromising that at all.
And I could also put him in a snuggly or a backpack or a front pack or
Absolutely.
whatever you prefer.
Whatever your comfort zone. So we're going to concentrate on the major muscles of the body. You just had a baby. It's not the time to be in the best shape of your life overnight. We just want to work those major muscle groups, those legs, the back, the chest, and of course the core. So we're going to start with some squats. Nice and basic. You can hold baby facing you. You can hold baby facing the other way. The closer the baby is a little bit easier. The farther out the baby is a little more weight. And we're going to go into a squat. So we're just going to stand feet hip width apart, making sure mom's balance is great. Sinking down into your heels. Exhale, push through the heels, squeeze up with the butt cheeks. There's one. Deep breath in on the way down. Exhale up. You want to start when the baby is probably over 3 months old. This is about as early as you would start, where the neck is pretty solid. Yeah, but you don't want to wait till he gets too heavy, because the heavier he gets, the more weight you're lifting. So there we have some squats. Moving to the upper body. This is my very favorite. I remember doing this with you when you were a baby. Push-ups. So we're going to head to the ground here. If you're lucky during your push-ups, you might even get some baby kisses in there, or baby spits in this case. So Chris is a pretty fit girl. She's going to start this from her toes. We will show you in a minute how to make this a little bit easier. Deep breath in, down she goes. Exhale, up. And again, sneaking in those kisses. Now you could drop to your knees. Not everybody, especially 4 months after giving birth, is going to be doing push-ups from your toes. Sneaking in side to side, getting some cheek kisses in there. Oh my goodness. All right, enough. Up you get. So we're gonna go into some lunges, back to those legs. Going from upper body to lower body is a great way to really burn a few extra calories, because you're forcing your body to get that heart rate to move the oxygenated blood up, down. That's a lot of work. So forward lunge with a little bit of a twist. We're just gonna lunge forward. Careful not to slip on that. Twisting over the knee, always fun for baby. Back and up you come, changing to the other leg, twisting the other way. Great for the lower body, great for the waist, the core, the abs, and pretty fun for baby too. So you're gonna do as many as you can until you're tired. Again, there's no real sets and reps here. We're just trying to get back to moving. To the ground to work the back, and again the core, we're gonna go into a plank and do some rows. So back into like a push-up, hovering over the baby, trying to keep the hips nice and still, getting some smiles. And we're just gonna lift an elbow up as high as we can, and down. And then the other side. So trying to keep your balance. This is working mom's core. Baby blew a sock. Good. We're gonna go down onto your back. So again, you can do more if you can do more. But we wanna get into working the bum and the hamstrings. Sitting baby on your hips, laying down. And ooh, and we're gonna squeeze butt cheeks. Mom is lifting the hips up. That's a good one. And down. Lifting the hips up. He's distracting. And down. And that's a great way to get those butt cheeks working. Last exercise, onto the shins. Maybe.
It's on the shins. It's onto the shins.
On your tummy, on your shins?
It's onto the shins.
This is a little bit of lower ab work. Wait 1 minute. And we're just going to move those legs ever so slightly back and forth. Oh, there we go. There's some abs. Awesome. All right, you guys, my turn. Hop on up, Mom. So these are just some of the many exercises.
Yeah, exactly. Those are just the exercises you can do actually holding your baby. Babies love to just watch you run around and do your own workout too, so absolutely put them down and work out in front of them as well.
And there's no harm too, if you're lucky enough that you've got a grandma that loves to babysit or somebody to watch the baby, to go to the gym.
Absolutely, and making time for yourself is so important. You can't make time for your baby if you don't make proper time for yourself. So,
Carissa volunteers at Jimmy Buffett, where I work, and she often brings Naz in, and some of my clients that have small children, she'll come in and she'll show them some of these things.
And Jimmy Buffett is the new gym downtown Nanaimo, yes?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. So if you're looking for a little bit of help on how to get your baby involved in your workout, babies live what they learn what they live, right? They watch you working out while they're growing up. They're bound to be a little more physically active themselves. Thank you so very much for joining me today. Thank you to this little guy. And we're going to throw this over to our musical guest, Sky Valley.
Well, I'm Jane Vanette, and I'm jazzed now, and I'm ready to party. And it's a good thing, because this year, the Bowen Park Complex is celebrating its 50th anniversary, and of course, it's the home to the Nanaimo Harbour City Seniors. This volunteer organization provides opportunities for adults over the age of 60 to participate in exciting programs and lead meaningful, active, healthy, and complete lives in our community. Today, our guests are Joanne Husband, Marketing Director, and Jan Lane, Vice President of the Nanaimo Harbour City Seniors, who are here to tell us about their upcoming open house event. Welcome, ladies. Thank you. So, Joanne, tell me, what is the purpose of the open house, and what kind of things can we expect to be taking place there?
Well, the purpose is to celebrate the 50th anniversary, and also to let people who are 60 and over who live in the area, there's no address limit on who can join, exactly what we do at Bowen and just how much there is for them to do.
Okay, it's wonderful. So when is the event going to take place?
Tuesday, March the 7th from 1 to 3.
Okay. And where is it going to take place?
At Bowen Park, in the building, the complex, and it'll take place all through the entire building because we'll be doing site tours.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. And will there be any displays or any activities going on?
Oh, yes. All the different classes that participate in the program will have a table, and they will be talking to anyone who's interested in that particular class.
Okay, well, I know you have a lot of activities that happen there, so I know you brought a list, so why don't you just tell me a little bit about the different activities you have?
Well, I can give you a list of what there are. There's many levels and types. We have fitness, Tai Chi, exercise class, yoga, walking groups, and then we have all the arts and crafts, crochet, painting, quilting, ceramics, woodworking, carving, and a lot more. Dance classes and all kinds of music, ukulele band, vocal groups, card games. Do you want me to go on?
Wow, that sounds like it's going to be a really full 2 hours if
Yes.
everybody can go in and experience that. So Jen, can you tell me a little bit more about the Nanaimo Harbour City Seniors and how did you get involved and what is your role?
I'm vice president, and I got involved because I think it's so important for the seniors to have a liaison with the city, and the city runs the programs, and I just wanted to take part.
How long have you been on the board?
On the board, I don't know, about 3-4 years.
And how long have you been involved with the Harbour City Seniors?
For a long, long time, for about 10 years.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's awesome. So Joanne, this is a membership program, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And how much does it cost for someone to sign up for a year?
Well, to become a member of Bowen Seniors is $41 and change.
Okay.
$41.45, I think. But a lot of the programs themselves have no fee, like the sewing class and places like that. But if you have an instructor, like we do in the fitness class, then there's a small cost to each class, but it's only $3 or $4.
Oh, wow, that's a really reasonable
Yes.
cost. Jan, so do the programs only take place at the Bowen Park complex?
No, all over the city. In the North City, we have Oliver Woods, which is a lovely, relatively new center. The Kin Hut down at Departure Bay, Harewood Activity Center, and the Rotary Field House, just to name a few.
Okay. Now, these wouldn't be the regular activities you have every day. These would be some kind of special events that would go on there, or do they have
regular? They're regular activities.
Okay, great. So Joanne, when I was looking through the program guide, there's so much more to choose from, all the different types of programs. Tell me a little bit about carpet bowling. I'm intrigued by that one.
Well, it's just like outdoor bowling, only it's indoors on a carpet with a smaller ball.
All right.
Not much smaller, I don't think, but it's great. I don't know what else to say about it.
So what is your favorite program there?
Well, I participate in the fitness, but I would say the art classes would be a second choice for me. And there's the Thursday afternoon tea, which anybody can attend and enjoy.
And Jan, I know you and I have talked about the music and dancing activities. Tell me a little bit more.
Yes, there's tap dancing, line dancing, both country and ballroom, and Thursday night dance. And at the event Joanne was mentioning on Thursdays, there's always live music. And people just love to get up and dance, whether they're dancing by themselves or using their cane or their walker or just boogieing.
So something for everybody at this program. And so, and Joanne, if I'm 60, I can go, and if my partner's younger, they can also attend, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
As
so
long
no
as-
excuse to leave them at home or anything?
No,
Okay.
as long as one of you are 60, you can both join.
All right. So just to wrap up, just remind us when and where the event is again, Joanne?
Okay, it's March the 7th,
Okay.
which is a Tuesday, 1 o'clock till 3 o'clock at Bowen, which is 500 Bowen Road.
Okay. Well, we'll look forward to seeing you there. Thank you very much for coming on
Thank you
to tell us
for
about
having
it.
us.
I can't wait till I'm 60 so I can start participating in these events. But right now I'm going to throw it over to Matt Carter, who is going to give us some news about another upcoming event.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I'm also on my way to 60 as well, still working on it. But yes, thank you very much, Jane, Joanne, and Jan, who I'm going to dub Team Triple J for the sake of this show. And congratulations again to the Nanaimo Harbour City Senior Society for 50 years of support and celebrating seniors here in Nanaimo and the region. Now, even though we just heard from J3, I'm going to start to send the show K9 with a couple dog-centric events. Yes, K9. First off, we're talking about an event happening at Lakeside Gardens Retirement Community in Nanaimo. They are hosting a Canine Couture Catwalk, a day of dog events, including a doggy fashion show. This is true, along with some dog training treats and more. And Dax, can we get the photo of Betsy put up on the screen? No, never mind. Sorry, just you got the title there for us. So this is what I was just talking about. The Couture Catwalk. I don't know why it's not called the dog walk, to be honest. Maybe you should have something else walk around there. There is Betsy. All right, so Betsy is this beautiful, I'm melting inside, this beautiful Yorkshire Terrier who was actually injured in a car crash. And what's happening at this event going on down at Lakeside Gardens is they're fundraising not just for the SPCA, but those funds are going to go directly to Betsy. Heavens to Betsy, yes, as we can see right there. These funds are going to go toward her surgery as well as efforts to place her. This is not a laughing matter, actually. Betsy, a wonderful dog. Okay, sure, you can laugh a little bit. Anyways, these money is going right toward her efforts for her surgery as well as to get her in a caring home. So wonderful stuff to see these funds going directly to a dog in need. So again, that's the Lakeside Gardens Canine Couture Catwalk, Tuesday, March the 14th from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. And secondly, also on the dog tip here, coming up on Sunday, March the 19th, is Hops and Hounds, which is a fundraiser as well for the Nanaimo SPCA. And what they're doing here is kind of neat. They're trying to set up for a possibly world record-breaking photo of dogs and their owners. The most dogs we can get in one place. So what it is, head down to Maffeo Seton Park. $10 gets you, one human and one dog into the photo, and that photo will be taken at about 3 p.m. Why are the Hops involved? Well, White Sails Brewing and Longwood Brewery will also be there, hence the Hops and Hounds. And as well as that, there'll be some dog demonstrations, dog treats, and much, much more. So check it out. That's Hops and Hounds, Sunday, March the 19th, down at Maffeo Seton Park in downtown Nanaimo. Event itself going from 2 to 4 p.m. And as mentioned, that photo being taken around 3 p.m. if we can somehow get all those dogs together in one place. Now, up next on the show, Joanne Hogan is here to talk. She's the lucky one that gets to talk about the food segment. And as much as I want her to have a segment called Hogan's Hoagies, I think it'd be a great segment. No, she's actually here to talk about protein instead of carbohydrates. Joanne, isn't that correct?
Absolutely, Matt. Those events, by the way, you described sound like they're going to be a lot of fun and a lot of photo opportunities to take pictures of these lovely doggies. Getting to our event, yes, we are discussing protein today. I have with me AJ Hicklin from Coastal Culinary Creations, and he is going to introduce to the Maple Sugar Festival du Sucre d'Érable, taking place this weekend from the 24th to the 26th at Bevan Social Centre, a Canadian tradition as we celebrate Canada's 150th. And that, folks, is Montreal smoked meat. I haven't done too much research about Montreal smoked meat because I thought, why, when the expert can tell me all about it? So AJ, describe the process of preparation, if you will, of how you get to the final item on the plate.
I can do that for you. It is quite a process. It takes 4 days to do. It's 2 days of the brisket, the raw brisket, into a brine and a pickling salt brine, which cures. You do have to rotate and flip the briskets because these briskets are about 8 kgs a piece, right? So the second day you flip the briskets over so the brine soaks all the way through the meat. Then the third day, you take all the briskets out of the brine and you lay them on racks, and we smoke them on the racks in a chief smoker. We did it for 3 hours at 200 degrees, very low, slow. And then that process comes out, they come out of the smoker, and then you can either steam them for service and slice them to order, or you can cook them slow in an oven at 200 degrees for 3 hours to finish the cooking process.
Okay, so I've got some questions of words that I've heard as we've gone along. What is exactly brisket? What kind of meat is brisket?
Brisket is a flank steak. It's when you order a Montreal smoked beef sandwich, you can say medium fat, which is going to be, you're going to have the fat inside the brisket. There's layers of the corned beef. When you get St. Patrick's Day is coming up, and you're going to see a lot of corned beef and cabbage on the menus in the restaurants around town. But you can order extra fat, medium fat, or lean. Of course, the leaner is going to be a little drier. The flavor is in the fat, but it doesn't help the waistline.
Okay. No, we're not out to lose kilograms, as you were saying earlier, when we're eating Montreal smoked meat. We're indulging in great taste. So you've mentioned the word brine and the process of brining. Can you describe for us what is brine? What are the ingredients in brine?
The ingredients in brine are, it's an enzyme that breaks down the tendons in the meat. It's most of the time when you're doing a curing or a salting process, they're usually rougher, tougher kinds of meat, cuts. They're not tenderloin, they're not filet mignon. The delis had to use all the cuts from the cows and the pigs, so they came up with this method of doing it in the early 1900s. 1908 was when the Montreal smoked meat was founded in a deli in Montreal. Yeah, and it breaks down so that the tougher cuts can be eaten, and they change the flavor of it. And you can basically get really creative with what you want to put in there. You can infuse in more salt or more pickling spice, bay leaves. You can get creative. But I didn't. With this Montreal smoked meat is a
standard.
It's a standard traditional you don't want to mess with.
So. Okay. And so with the amount for the volumes that you were dealing, it takes you more like 4 days in a huge kitchen to prepare all of this brisket for this process, right?
Yeah, you bet. It was 25 gallons at 25 gallons of brine for the 8 briskets. And yeah, I'm hoping we'll do about 500. Montreal smoked meat sandwiches.
Okay, I'm sure.
So I did bring some for this evening, so we can.
And in the second segment, we can certainly do that. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your business around town. It sounds like things are hopping for you. You're all over the place,
this is
serving.
This is year 8 for Coastal Culinary Creations. Year 31 for myself.
Yeah.
But my 8th year doing it for myself, my own business. I have a red seal. I graduated from SAIT in Calgary, and I have dual citizenship. I also spent about half my life in Arizona. I worked at resorts and stuff like that down there, and it gave me a new. It's nice to have a different perspective on different culinaries, different cuisines, and different places. I mean, I've been to Montreal one time, and I just love the food, and I love the people that live there, and it's like Christmas time. These festivals, it's like Christmas dinner, right?
Okay, so we'll talk some more about it in the second segment, AJ. Thank you so much for the explanation. I've learned more about what's behind this wonderful sandwich, and we'll get a chance to taste it in the second segment.
Perfect.
And now I would like to present the interview with Matt and Sky Valley.
Thank you very much, Joanne. Thank you very much, AJ, for being here as well. I'm definitely, I'm not going to argue about the meat of your argument, that is for sure. Let's see, the band actually liked that one. That's a first, finally a first. We are going to talk more meat later, but right now we're happy to talk music, chatting with Sky Valley, Patrick, Frank, Randall, and Alan, all the way from Salt Spring here to join us at the Shaw TV studios. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
It's great to be here.
We're glad to have you guys. So I'm just get you to raise the mic up here. Patrick, we're going to be talking to you here off the top. What or where is Sky Valley?
Sky Valley is actually a road on Salt Spring where Randall has his studio where we rehearse. So we came up with the band name. Actually, Randall's wife Patricia came up with it. She said, "Why don't you just stop struggling for a name and call it Sky Valley, but not Road, not Sky Valley Road. That won't sell." So that's what we did. And it's a beautiful place. So it's like this Sky Valley view from Randall's place, and it's just gorgeous. It's very inspirational. So.
I mean, Salt Spring itself is a beautiful place, and I know, talking before on air, all of you guys have sort of moved there within the last sort of 10 years or so. So just talk a little bit about how you guys got together.
Well, we've all been there under 12 years or 10 years or so, and it's pretty hard to break into the scene there musically. So Randall put an ad up on the Salt Spring Exchange, which is a local kind of advertising wall. And I answered, and the first practice was just me and him. So then eventually he started another project, which Alan was involved in, and we all ended up together playing jazz together. So.
Nice, good stuff. And actually, let's talk a little bit about the music there. So obviously we've heard here and seeing influences online talking about sort of like musicians from 50s and 60s jazz, sort of more, you know, the sort of classic jazz. Yet I noticed there was one website event that mentioned you guys, or described you guys as funky modern tunes. So what is it? What is the sound of Sky Valley?
Well, we have a lot of different sounds, like traditional jazz. We write a lot of our own music, and each of us has a different kind of stylistic approach to music, so it's quite different. That funky jazz thing was one of our biggest fans came up with that moniker. She's older, and she thought we were funky, and we're not really, not yet. We're working on it. But we are danceable. We get a lot of people out to like to dance to the tunes. So.
And speaking of gigs, I know also reading a fairly regular gig at Moby's Pub on Salt Spring, which I'm a big fan of, partially because they're duck wings, but also they've got great bands there. So just describe the scene at a Sky Valley show.
Well, we play there because there's a special on Sunday for fish and chips. So.
Musicians love their honest food.
Well, there you go. You know, it's greasy fingers on the instruments. Nothing beats it. But it's a Sunday jazz series at Moby's, and we play there roughly every month and a half or so. And it's a really great night. It's a good place. They treat us really well, and it's always fun playing with these guys and playing at a place like Moby's. So.
And the music scene sort of overall in Salt Spring is sort of known as being quite good, like as well as you guys going out to see other groups, other musicians. Quite a good music scene there, would you say?
Yeah, there are a lot of musicians there. In terms of the scene, like venues to play in, that there could be more, of course, like everywhere. But there are a lot of great players there, and a lot of musical diversity, and a lot of great guys who've played with really well-known bands and stuff. Still live on the island, still come out and play a lot. So, guys like Bill Henderson and Valdi and so on, they're still there. So.
Nice stuff. Now let's talking about this group in particular. I'm seeing photos on Facebook of a recording project you guys are working on right now. So tell us a little bit about that. What are the goals for that?
Well, we're kind of embarking on a possible contract with Mighty Spec, a company on Vancouver Island who's taken an interest in us. So we decided we'd put together a small kind of EP CD, 6 tracks, all original. We've been in the studio for a week. We're doing the mixing and mastering now, and hopefully it'll be out soon. So we're hoping with that we'll be able to apply for some grants and so on, recording grants, travel grants. We'd like to play further afield, and have somebody pay the ferry costs for us.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's not an ocean cruise when you're not.
No, definitely not. That would be nice.
Yeah. So you talk about these original tunes. Do you guys write the songs collaboratively, or is there one main songwriter in the group?
We all write. So far, Randall hasn't written anything yet, but he definitely contributes a lot. Yeah. So Frank does most of the writing. I do some writing, and Alan started doing writing as well. So what tends to happen is a fairly well-established idea is brought in, and then things, at least my tunes, morph. And all of ours actually. We all give input, and then the finished product comes out. So.
All right, I got 2 more quick questions for you before we get back to more music. First off, like I'm a saxophone player myself. We've had Brian Stovall on the show earlier talking about jazz. You guys are obviously into jazz. To our viewers out there who might maybe not be into jazz, know much about it, why do you think jazz is still relevant as a music form today?
Well, for my point of view, it's one of the forms that still has a great deal of improvisation. So there's a lot of creative energy that goes into playing a show, a tune. It's not overproduced. It's not cookie cutter. So you might hear a song once or twice, and it's never the same 3 times, 10 times. It's always different. I mean, we came in here today, and everything was different. So, I mean, in a good way, of course. But
good call. We love the spirit of it. All right, before we get to the tunes, where can people find more about the band and about upcoming shows?
Well, we've got a website, skyvalleyjazz.com. All the information's on there. All the upcoming shows. Information, recordings, everything, when the recording will be released and so on. So,
nice, perfect. And I think also you're playing in Crofton in May, is that correct?
Yeah, May 21st we're playing in Crofton, the Sunday Jazz Series. So.
Perfect.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. Again, Patrick Byrne on saxophone, also doing vocals, I guess, on some of the live shows as well. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, Frank Uthier on the piano, Randall Myron on the drums, and Alan Wardroper on the bass, and apparently an Aikido master, is that right?
I teach Aikido, yeah.
He's also a great martial artist. Don't mess with my time.
Yeah, I know, that's right. We got to play our notes right, otherwise.
All right, well, grab the mic.
Thank you very much.
Get the saxophone back in your hands. Again, Sky Valley playing a track called Red Breast on the show right here on Shaw TV.
Hi, my name is Matthew. I'm here with Urszula. We're here today to talk about her new book, Spiritually Not for Sale, a psychic's insight on past life regression and healing. Today she wants to show us her book. It's for a book release that she has. Can you please tell us about yourself and what gave you inspiration to writing the book?
Well, I arrived in Canada in '85, and well, I am a textile engineer from education. But all my life I was fascinated with human mind and why we do things we do. So started writing at about age 11, of course in my native Polish, and my first two novels were published in '97 and '98. This book was harder to write because it's actually story of my work with people who I try to help, and my own experiences with so-called paranormal. It took me 10 years. With the great help of my husband, who is my agent and editor, we finally put it in a form of book, and it's been published just a month ago.
Oh wow, that's amazing! And that, I see that I read the book a little bit of, and I can see how it can help people. In what ways can it help people with healing and anything else that they need?
Yes, I always believe that we are creators of our own misery, illness, and problems. Therefore, we have to tap into secrets of mind to actually fix it. And I believe that disease on the mind is disease in the body.
Yeah.
And through the process, I help people with various problems like addictions, insomnias, depression, fears, phobias, and such. I love people. When they come to me and ask me for help, and I can see the process of healing, sometimes as fast as one session, 1 hour, 2 hours, and their lives are turning around, that's awesome. That's why I wrote the book, because I have a limit of how many people I can reach personally, but I can reach many more through my written word.
Yeah, and that's amazing, right? And I know people these days, it can be really hard for people to go through life, especially when they've reached trauma. And how can people find ways to have hope?
Well, the cases I describe in the book, they are all real cases. Of course, everything is changed around circumstances and names, so nobody can identify my clients. But you can identify symptoms. You can identify your struggles. And when you do, you're realizing that maybe a pill or a psychiatrist are not solutions, that maybe you'll start looking for help in the right places. And I believe what is happening in today's world, we live in such fast pace with so much anger inside us, that I think that's what is causing these waves in the world that we can observe in the everyday life, anger. I believe cancer is an illness of anger.
Yeah, definitely, and like that, for myself, I can see that with some people around me, it's hard to take in, and trying to find a way to express those feelings and to find faith and to find hope, right?
Yes.
Whatever form that's going to look in.
That's right.
I understand that this is in English, but is it also in different languages as well?
Yes, the book is actually available through Europe, Asia, Japan, India, but it's also available will be available soon in Polish language, because of course I was born in Poland. I brought wonderful things as a Polish person, contributed to, of course, Canada, because this is my country now, and I love this country. But we struggle with the same things, no matter where we live. And so, yes, it's presently in translation, not by me, but somebody else in Poland.
Awesome.
So hopefully this summer will be available in Polish version.
Can you show us the book? And can we get just a screenshot on what the book looks like for our viewers? How can people purchase this book?
Well, I have an author's website, which is ursulateresacour.com. And it's also through Amazon. Blurb.ca actually has a hardcover, Amazon paperback and Kindle format.
For me, spirituality is huge, and it's a way that we can actually express ourselves and find growth and find healing, right?
Absolutely, and find back way to each other. Because what's happening in today's world, we are lonely. We are so distant because we are living with so many fears. And that's the book. A book is the reach out, because that other person might be hiding the same fears, the same doubts as we are.
Awesome. Well, I do want to thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.
I understand that you have a website that we'll
Yes.
have posted. And I hope to hear from you again. And I will just throw our segment towards Joanne Hogan and my good friend AJ. We're going to talk about some more food. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's a wonderful segment. Thank you, Urszula and Matthew, for sharing this for us. I thought the book cover was beautiful, and I would imagine that so is the content. And speaking of wonderful content, it has been very difficult for me not to just grab all of this and run away. The smell of this Montreal smoked meat is amazing. AJ has put a sample together for all of the people here today. There's one of the ingredients that's always part of Montreal smoked meat is the rye bread, and of course the mustard, and of course the kosher pickles. Right. So we've got a sampling here of what is coming our way at the Maple Sugar Festival du Sucre d'Érable this weekend, and I'm just going to try some now.
Right on. Yeah, it's starting Friday night, 5 o'clock. We'll have a bar service with the musicians playing and the Montreal smoked meat, all the foods from the festival, the tourtière, the pork ragout, the pea soup, the sugar pies, the maple syrup in the snow. Yes, it's just going to be a great event. So bring your little ones out and your families and come and see us.
And you know, when you pack on all these wonderful, delectable calories, and you can dance to the great music of the festival afterwards. There's also going to be a special event on the Friday night because we're honoring Canada's 150th anniversary. We're collaborating with the Nanaimo Clippers to pay tribute to hockey, one of Canada's greatest traditions. And the Nanaimo Clippers will be playing at Frank Crane Arena, and we'll be across the concourse at the Bebin Social Center. And please go to francophonenanaimo.org for all the details and the times. And in honor of the celebration this year, admission will be by donation only. So thank you, AJ, of Coastal Culinary Creations. We'll see you. And he's already feeding many, many children at the school program that's underway here already at the Social Center. And I think there's somebody else who might be interested in trying some of this, eh? This is really, really tasty. I've only taken one small biteful just to be polite.
Can I actually?
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
All right. Now, this plate is in a bit of a pickle, I can see.
Oh, here we go.
All right. I'm going to try this one here.
It smells so good.
Oh, that was awesome. I was wondering if they'd be silent now and not talk. We're just going to say your name for last time, man. So that's okay. No, I should put this down and come back to this. Everyone remember that's mine right there on the end. Joanne, thank you very much for this, of course, and Festival. AJ, thank you very much for coming here and talking so eloquently about smoked meat and everything. And also, I do have one question for you. So, I really like ribs. I really like ribs. And so the kids in the neighborhood always try to steal. I'm like, baby back, you know, from the ribs. Now, can you? Is it a chance to like?
We're supposed to be nice, remember?
Oh,
yeah.
great.
Now, could you cook the ribs in beer before finishing them off? Because I've always thinking, if I cooked them in beer, I would say happy braise our beer again. Happy braise our beer again. Anyways.
Thank you, drummer. Thank you.
Sorry, I'll walk away real quickly. I tell you, when it comes to smoked meat, though, in Montreal, may the Schwartzes be with you. Now, also, I love looking ahead to having great meat meals in the future. Some other people, though, are just sort of like stuck back in the pastrami. Now, here's the thing for you. Now, I know, obviously, most people know you can get smoked meat at the deli. Well, where can you get curry smoked meat? Well, New Delhi. All right. I actually got some thrown at me there for that one. Anyways, now, before the staff starts to think I'm a total jerky and acting like a total brisket case, you know, I never sausage anger in here and me being just a bit of a ham, really. Oh, I think they're starting to advance on my flake now. I may have to try giving a bit of a ribbing as long as it's well done with my rye sense of humor, because it is rye bread on the sandwich. All right, so anyways, thanks to all of our guests, hardworking scenes and hungry meat eaters and staff in front of the cameras all over the place. By the way, you can find information on this show on Facebook, facebook.com/The Show on Shaw. Also information on our Shaw TV Central Vancouver Island Twitter page. You can check out previous episodes of the show on our YouTube page and also through our website as well here in Central Vancouver Island. Now, do you have an event, cause, demonstration, sandwich, or issue you'd like to bring to the show? We're asking for great sandwiches and people in personalities as well. So drop a line to our executive producer, Kelly Robinson, at kelly.robinson@sjrb.ca. And personally, I don't want any more volunteers on the show because this means more of the sandwiches are for me. But if you do want to volunteer and perhaps get involved, drop a line to our volunteer coordinator, Melissa Hall, at melissa.hall@sjrb.ca. Now, before we go and I try to eat that whole platter of sandwiches, we have some more music, wonderful folks from Sky Valley, a little song called Tell Me. Thank you so much for watching the show right here on Shaw TV.